Camry. Needed a quick little swap ski on the alternator and the battery, but the legend continues. Getting back to actually working out. The plan for today is to make a little bit of a trip towards Metro Fitness. So around where I live, there's YMCA, Planet Fitness, Anytime, and these are good gyms, but they don't really have that kind of old school. Oh, I'm like halfway to sneeze. I'm sorry. Oh. They don't have that real old school kind of bodybuilding gym vibe. So it is nice to have a gym like that. Sometimes I want kind of a little bit more of a chill. And when I say more of a chill environment, I really just mean a gym where I know some of the guys. Like when you get a couple of different gym memberships, you kind of get introduced to different sort of crews and folks or whatever else. A lot of guys I know from high school or dudes younger than me who I've talked to for a long time. They used to go to the Y, so I kind of go back and forth, whatever. But one thing especially that's making me say, let's head to Metro today, is the machine hack squat. Plus, they've got a pretty good Smith machine too. So that all just kind of, gets combined into let's go lift over there. But plan for legs, uh, huh? Part of me, part of me is thinking that I want to do a superset style. I'm talking hamstring set, quad set, hamstring set, quad set, hamstring, vice versa like that. Uh, no, maybe not exactly. Because for me, when I do leg extensions and my hamstrings are fully pumped, it actually feels a little bit uncomfortable because my hamstrings are like pulling on the back of my knee and kind of makes me feel a little weird doing like full extension on the leg extensions. I think hamstrings first, followed by quads on their own. Yeah, kind of just a one and done sort of style. But hamstrings, I foresee laying curls, standing single leg curls, potentially some seated curls. I mean, the basic action of all of those movements are the same. You're just bending your leg with load. But this gym, the seated curls are not my favorite. So whenever I'm here, I usually just do the seated or no, do the standing or the laying. But that'll be quick. Hamstrings doesn't take too much in terms of both volume and overall, let's just say workload. Like for me to totally wreck my hamstrings, I'm not completely gassed to dead. That's kind of that's more of the responsibility of quads. So it's almost like the hamstring portion of the workout is like me getting into the groove, and quads is really where things kind of pick up. Not that I'm hitting hamstrings light, of course, but I have an easier time taking hamstring sets to failure than I do quads. And that could just be something about, well, I couldn't tell you exactly. It's just, I wouldn't say a genetic strong point, but maybe just like maybe it's just a personal preference thing or something. But I'm sure you've got something like that, where maybe somebody who is fucking, I mean, they can train chest all fucking day long, but when it comes to having them jump in on a back day with you, they always say they got like an elbow pain and they're just not really into it. But either way, quads will be freakily pumped. Just got to make sure to keep the gas up for the whole lift, because it is this is one thing I've noticed, and I'm not really, and this may not be applicable to you, but for me, I haven't been getting so fucking nuts in my mind before I do my squats. Like I can remember a year-ish ago, I'm doing the same weight. You kind of get to a point where going too much heavier, it's just not even necessary, at least bodybuilding wise. But still 5 plates, fucking heavy ass set. And I think it's just from doing it for so long, but it doesn't make me as nervous as it used to. And I think those nerves are kind of something which, if you can control it and be able to handle it, that's going to give you a really good set. Because before I would do squats, like, talking maybe 8 months ago and before, I'd be sitting there on the little exercise block, or I'd pull up a chair, and once I played whatever song I wanted to listen to during the set, my heart would start fucking racing, right? Like if I was wearing an Apple Watch, it would probably go from like whatever it was baseline for the workout, maybe like 100, probably 100-ish between sets. Right before that set of squats, it probably got up to 150, not even doing the set or anything, just from like kind of like, I don't want to say anxiety, but kind of like anxiousness for the set, like spiking. And then, just fucking kill it. So I think just from getting used to it, I may just be a little bit more comfortable under heavy squats. Or maybe I'm just missing out on songs. This is me being a little bit spoiled. I can now ask, however many 100,000 people who are watching this. Or actually, it's a leg day. You guys are, look, I see the analytics. You guys are most interested in chest workouts and arm workouts. Leg workouts, you guys back off. But either way, if you have any super hype songs, I would love to have them linked below. And I'm talking any genre, be it fucking choirish. I've been listening to a ton of, I think it's To the Underworld. Something Underworld. It's like it's a musical. But some of those songs are really fucking cool. But metal, fucking rap, whatever. Anything to get you in the zone for a crazy set. Even if it's fucking kind of a goofy joke song or whatever. That's fine by me. When it comes to anybody who's sort of anti-headphones, I see the logic. It is kind of a mental toughness situation. You're like, I don't want to have to rely on my headphones, because what happens if I don't have them one day? And you kind of got that prepper mentality. I like it. You're making yourself more resilient, not so dependent on things. But I don't think it's that big of a deal, man. The amount of hype I get from listening to a specific song on whatever specific day for my workouts, look, it's nice, right? That's my thing. If you're, sure, I'm hyping up listening to good music. You got to listen to Eric Bugenhagen. He's made a couple of videos where he's talking about like just the energy, feeding from the song. And it's nice, So having a solid playlist, I think it will affect the pump, man, because it's not, when you're working out, at least if this is your thing and you really want to be a nut about it, if you're working out for exercise, you don't have to be so crazy, right? I mean, you can just listen to audiobooks, do your sets, because the point isn't to push yourself to like absolute maximum failure. If you're just lifting weights for general fitness, you can be a little more chill, you can just listen to a podcast or something. But I think if you're really trying to go nuts on your sets, then you should definitely have some music. I don't want to say blaring, you want to be able to hear in 30 years, but it is good for you. Because, what I was kind of about to say, it's not a chore, it's something which you can kind of really be kind of emotionally invested into, like every set, I'm not fucking like losing my mind, but you should kind of take a couple of seconds, center yourself, say like, okay, you don't even have to think fucking words, just in your mind. Come on, you hit your shit, right? Animalistic. But that's the plan for today. Hamstrings first, quads in rapid succession, and then, I'll do what I always do, an even mix of heavy shit and light squeezing sets. So I'm sure there's going to be some Smith machine squats. Those have kind of been, I've been liking those a little bit more recently. So I'm sure I'll do a couple heavy ones there. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, the hack squat that I was just hyping up that I wanted to do, I'm not even really that hyped up to do that one today. I'll see how it feels. I'll see how they feel. But either way, leg pump guaranteed. Now, just how crazy it's going to be, that's something we'll just have to find out. So let's jump in there, see what we start with. I feel strong, but I'm going to curb my enthusiasm for ego lifting and do just a moderate weight set to start. It's just best practice,
This moment actually just gave me deja vu to, I think it was like last Christmas. I'm doing heavy leg, or I'm warming up to heavy leg extensions. I was dieting, felt super strong. I'm like, fuck man, let's just stack it. Pull my right hamstring real fucking good. So I do take a bit more caution when I ease into the weight when I'm dieting down. When I'm fully bulked up, carbs, everything, let's just say I'm a bit more resilient. But this would be a good starting set. All right, a few more just like that. A little heavier for the next one. All right, now. Three more. One more. Oh, that's perfect.
Oh yeah.
Thanks.
Good job.
Oh, those are nasty. One more. There we go. One more assisted set. A little lighter. And I think hams are done, man. They're already fucking wrecked. Does not take much. All right, now. Yeah, perfect. That's three more. Okay. Oh my god. Thank you. Time for quads. Let's go nuts on some single leg sets first. Probably 2, maybe 3, and then squats of some variety. Heavier for the next one. Okay. These are doing some damage. But I think I need to get some squats going next instead of sitting here. Need some heavy load, goddammit. Ugh. Very good opening sets though. Fuck. 5 big ones. Let's get in the fucking zone. Oh, that was good. Holy shit. I'm feeling some spinal compression after that one. Let's take a few minutes and see what happens next. Be it another set or something else. Fuck. One heavy set done. Now let's do a light one. And I'm gonna make sure these are some slow descensions. I'm talking 2-second negative and then explode as much as possible. One more. No. Oh my goodness. I think that's enough of this. Let's go do something else. Leg extensions will be involved. Oh my god. Yeah. Time for a very interestingly, let's just say, ordered set. You know, typically I would advise, if you're gonna add an intensifier to a set, you do a drop set. You know, let's say I hit failure with the stack, drop it halfway, and then do a few more. But on occasion, I do like kind of a reverse drop set. Not so much for like your real heavy work. You know, like I would not want to pre-exhaust myself before those extra heavy squats, because doing the sets with that much weight, that's the point. That's the stimulus I want. But now that, I mean, that's the heavy shit. Now that the heavy stuff is done, I don't mind kind of, I don't want to say fluff sets, but more kind of pump burnout-y sets to finish off and really just fucking inflate my quads with blood. So the plan is a two-parter. Fucking hell, I dropped the pen. But part one, lightweight, hold it at the top, squeeze it as hard as I fucking can, like I'm trying to bend my leg backwards straight out of The Exorcist. You know, maybe 10, 15 reps like that. It doesn't have to be to complete failure, just to, let's just say, intense uncomfortability. and then drop the weight all the way down to the stack and burn out with that much tension. You know, I'm not going to say it's the scientifically proven best method of stimulation of your fast twitch fibers, but I know that it wrecks my quads. So that's kind of what I'm going for. Yeah, there we go. All right, come on. Yeah. Oh my. Yeah. Fuck. One more like that, and I think that's it. These sacks might actually be too heavy. Okay. That's enough. Quads are sufficiently wrecked. Time to take a little gander at them. God damn it. There we go. In frame and in charge. Or should I say in charge and in frame? Who gives a shit? We're pumped. Let's take a look. So I was just talking to some dudes and I'm telling them, yeah, man, the pump for legs when I'm dieting down is much stingier. Because you gotta remember, when you pump up a muscle group, that's essentially diverting fluids from all around your body to one specific muscle and filling it up. So for me to get a bicep pump, I've got this much fluid floating around at my biceps disposal to say, yo, give me that shit. Whereas my legs, I mean, they're literally the biggest muscle in your fucking body. So when I'm dieted down and I'm a bit more depleted and I'm not full of food and sugar and water and glycogen and everything, I just don't have the fucking fluids to fully pump them up as crazy as I fucking can. So that's the unfortunate part about legs when I diet down. But they're still pumped. I'm just saying, they don't feel as, let's just say, freakily pumped as they do when I'm fully bulked. They are definitely a touch veinier though. So you tell me, are they looking thick-ish? We're getting somewhere. That's most certainly a fucking quad. Let's see, everybody loves this one. Yeah, man, fucking love it. Let's do a couple peeks from the back. Calves, still there. I don't see them as a weak point, but I definitely need bigger calves. Oh, either way, quads feel nice and swollen, even if they're not peak bulked. But let's skedaddle and get in the car. All right, that was really good. Very pumped. Hamstrings especially. I'm really not joking when I say that my that my quad pumps are, let's just say, diminished when I diet down, which is a touch unfortunate. But hamstrings were really fucking firing. And again, you know, maybe not again, but being fully pumped, it's not necessarily a one-to-one indicator that you actually had a gnarly workout. I mean, it's a good indicator. If you're really fucking fatigued and pumped at the end of your workout, you definitely did something. But, you know, in some cases, the physical state you in just may not fucking facilitate having a crazy pump. So, you know, situation A being if you're in a deficit and you're not eating your 800 grams of carbs every day like you should be bulking, and you got to trim down, peel some body fat off, reset your metabolism, your appetite, your insulin sensitivity, etc. You know, you basically just need a break from bulking. Got to do what you got to do. But that workout definitely fucking fulfilled the check marks that I wanted to hit. Main two being maintaining my size. I know for a fact that leg day has stimulated my lower body, quads, hamstrings, even a touch of glutes, to the point where there's no fucking chance it's just going to start atrophying on me. And maintain my strength. Those are the two main points that you want to hit while you're dieting down. Because you don't want to do anything counterproductive by getting lighter and also losing muscle mass and literally fucking shrinking and getting smaller and undoing all the fucking hard work that you put into in a bulk or in your long-term period of main gaining. And if you get too much weaker, it's going to mess with your fucking workouts, you know? It's going to take you a little while to build that strength back. And it's not all strength, you know? It's not all about strength. Otherwise, I'd be trying to fucking, you know, bench 7 or squat 7 plates on the Smith machine for like 3, or I'd be trying to, whatever. But it is about strength a little, you know? There's a reason why you say big and strong, not big and frail. Or big and weak. I guess you can't really be big and frail. So that's why I don't like when people talk about changing the way that they work out when they're dieting versus bulking, because a light, easy workout, that's not fucking, you know, that's not congruent with maintaining hard, strong muscle tissue. So the one thing that I do change about my workouts when I'm dieting down is there's less volume. But I don't do that intentionally. You know, I just do the workout to the point where I feel like I'm as pumped as I'm going to get and I'm fatigued as I'm going to, you know, be able to be effectively and actually be able to make use of that fatigue. My legs would be fucking on fire, dead for days if I tried to run. You know, if I tried to do like a fucking, even just a mile or 2 jog, just that impact on my quads, which I'm not used to, would probably wreck them. So there is a limit. You know, this is how your workout looks, right? 0 sets. And then as it increases, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, somewhere in this, you know, 6 to 10 range, I think is about the peak. Where as long as you did your sets as hard as you fucking can, you're actually going to get muscle stimulation out of them. But if you continue to do more and more volume, you know, past 8 or however many sets you think is about right, then I think it's going to look something like this. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6 to 10 is, I think, where about it peaks out. And then, you know, if you're sitting here doing a 20 set leg day, 20 sets of quads as hard as you fucking can, I think your gains are going to diminish, because now you're stressing your quads in a way that isn't even going to be, you know, actually causing any muscle stimulation. You're just causing legit muscle damage. And that's more of a kind of a long-term, or not long-term, but longer endeavor to do. You know, I'm not concerned with the damage that I caused from that one set of crazy heavy squats. I would consider that good damage. But if I sat here and tried to do another 15 sets of leg extensions, then I think all I'm doing is fucking tiring myself out, building up lactic acid, etc. Body, you know, what was it, bodybuilding? You know, bro science lingo. That's just not the way to do it, you know. So I do change my training from bulked to dieting. But in both cases, I try to do my sets as heavy as I can go, safely. I try to get a crazy fucking pump. And I do as many sets as I feel necessary to say, that was a good workout, I stimulated the targeted muscle, I can go home and eat and recover and come back and do it again. Now, when I'm bulked up, it takes more sets. I'm physically stronger. I can deal with more sets. Whereas when I'm dieted down, yeah, I mean, I've got less energy at my disposal, you know? It's going to take me a little bit longer to recover. So the workouts end up being a little bit shorter. But the approach is the same. That's what I'm trying to say here. You know, the approach to the workouts is the exact same, right? As heavy as you can go for as much as you feel is actually necessary, which I think is around the 6 to 10 hard set range. You could do 12 though, you know, there's no one answer, but I do think that's about right. So enough volume talk. Purely, oh yeah, fuck. We can actually kind of continue the car talk from earlier. I was listening to this Attack on Titan, kind of a, not really a funk, but sort of like an EDM, like real kind of grungy, bassy Attack on Titan song edits. That's what I was listening to for both of those sets of Smith machine squats. That really fucking gets me going. To the point where before that first set of squats, I was really getting into the fucking zone of you know, kind of heart starting to race, really getting kind of amped up and freaked out for it. And I mean, not to just jump right back into the car talk from before, but I really do think that's when you're going to have your best sets, you know, and that's not really I don't think that's a very controversial thing to say. You know, if you can get yourself into the mindset of like, all right, I'm going to go fucking crazy right now, you probably will, you know? Whereas I see some guys, and I mean, you know, it can be a little silly. Sometimes people make faces just to make them for fun. That's not what I'm talking about. But when you're really fucking going hard, I'm talking balls to the wall, maximum intensity, I think you are well on your way to being on the right fucking track. You know, in no way imaginable are you ever going to have a workout where you say, oh my gosh, I went too hard today. Oh man, I went too hard. Oh, I better go easier next time because I went way too hard. That is not a bad situation. Now, it could happen. You know, if I did a leg day where I was like, okay, I actually did go too hard. I have done too much volume. It's taken me way too long to recover from this. I might need to tone it back. If that's the case, then sure, I will. You know, or I take an extra rest day if I'm not fully recovered. But I think the majority of people who talk about, oh, don't train this hard, you know, don't take all your sets to failure, don't do your reps in reserve, or no, don't leave reps in reserve. I mean, what's the opposite of intensity? What's the opposite word of intensity? Because that's what these people are fucking training with. And I don't think it's from experience. It's just a very easy mentality to get into. You know, if somebody who's not really into training and they don't really want to push themselves hard in the gym, if they hear, you know, it's actually better to train easier, that's checking off all the boxes in their mind. Whoa, I can train easy and I'll get results? Oh, perfect. You know, fast forward 2 years. Man, I look the exact same that I did 2 years ago, or worse. Man, what the fuck? Must be my genetics. No, come on. You know, I was... I had just finished watching, like, I don't know how many, it was just like a bunch of TikToks that were talking about how you shouldn't push your sets to failure and you shouldn't lift heavy. And I'm like, okay, wait a second. You know, so I guess this is what happens in some people's minds. They hear a video and they think, whoa, if I lift lighter weight and I don't train as hard, I'm gonna grow more? Whoa, perfect. You are living in fucking la la land and you need to wake up. You know, you are in the Matrix where you took the blue pill and you're like, oh, I'm going to train really easy. I'm not going to put any stress on my body. And that's going to make me progress. You know, it's just not the fucking case, man. Right? The guys who really fucking grow and the guys who really are fucking strong and have a good build, I'm not even talking the massive 240 pounders. I'm just fucking surrounded by lean ass 180 pounders all the time. They're fucking nuts looking. You know, it's sick. It's not just a mass thing. But look, the guys who actually look good and look like they work out, they're the ones who actually do work out. And they work out hard and consistently.
And it's not a, it's not a game of chance. Sure, genetics are going to play a reasonably large role, right? Some people are just going to be fucking genetic freaks, but more often than not, I think the gym is a pretty even playing field. Everybody's got reasonably similar genetics. If your genetics were that bad, you wouldn't even fucking be alive because, what's the word I'm thinking of? Crap, what the fuck is it called? Because, well, just because evolution would fucking weed you out. So if you're alive, I think you've got reasonable enough genetics to make some gains. Now, do you have the mindset and the ability to be able to work out hard? I mean, I'm talking thousands of times in a row, day by day. Worry about your diet, worry about your macros, you know, actually make progressions, make adjustments to your training. That's the real differentiating factor, you know. And it is a little bit unfortunate because two guys can be lifting in the same gym and one dude is going to be fucking freakishly ahead because he's been lifting for 5 or 6 years and the other guy's a total newbie. But both of those dudes, even the smaller guy, can be working harder and be progressing at a faster rate than that bigger dude. So that's why I don't. I mean, I get to. I'm so spoiled now. I get to train with straight up Olympia competitors, massive 300 pounders, and I'm talking 300-pound lean. And not to say that I'm going to get to 300-pound lean, 300 pounds lean, but I don't see that, and I think, oh my god, I'm so fucking small. It's like, okay, these guys have been doing this for 15 years. Let's wait a little while and see what happens. It definitely is a long game. Whether you're fucking gonna end up being a dice 250 pounder or a dice 200 pounder, right? It's all about kind of how long you can stick to it and enjoy that day by day effort. And then in a little bit more of an egotistical way, I don't see why you wouldn't like it. Being big and strong is fucking cool. Not even just to show off to anybody else, but just, I don't know, maybe it's just me. But when I'm walking around bulked, I can tell I feel heavy and full of carbs and I just like it. I just like it. So I almost feel kind of strange when I make these kind of statements where it's like I'm trying to incentivize like why you should work out hard and whatever. What do I get out of it? I don't really. If somebody gets big because I gave him some intel, it's not going to change anything about my build. Right? So, a lot of the times I end these little motivational rants with the same phrase. The guys who want it are going to get it. So, that's kind of I got to flip the script. You got to ask yourself that question. Have I been training that hard? Have I really been fucking trying to sleep good? Has my hydration, diet, not macro, micronutrient partitioning been reasonable enough to facilitate some gains? And that's on you, man. Right? You're the captain of your ship. It's gonna go wherever you lead it. But that's the end of my little phrase. I'm getting every every time I talk about people who say like don't train that hard, it always gets me fucking riled up. If I could oh man, don't even get me started. Let's I've got chest tomorrow. I might add a little something. Oh yeah, fuck, I better go to the pool this weekend. If I feel limber enough, maybe I'll bust out a flip or two off the diving board. But if I think I'm too out of practice, I'm not gonna fucking hurt myself just to do a little flip. But either way, time to go home and eat, recover, cardio in the morning, which I know you're not doing, and get ready to lift tomorrow and restart this day all over again. So I'll see you then.